Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Shayla. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Marc Jacobs Shameless 24-Hour Wear Foundation. I have it right, chaw. I want to, before we continue, I have to say this. The foundation bottles are a little lighter than the actual shade. So that's something I just learned. Like, see how I think it's a plastic or something. It makes it look a little lighter. But this foundation retails for $46, so it's more on the luxury side. It's medium coverage and it's for all skin tones. Wait, I meant to say skin types, but it's also for all skin tones. I was really excited when they invited me to New York to celebrate the launch because I really appreciate how diverse the campaign was. Like when you look at their Instagram, when you just look at the promo, you see kind of like every shade represented, and I think that's how it should always be with foundation. Now, let me tell you, when I first heard that I was going to New York, or when they asked me to come to New York, I should say, I told them, I was like, the other foundation was no bueno for me, okay? Like, if this goes south, I am going to have to let everyone know. I have to be completely honest, and I'm going to have to let them know. And Marc Jacobs, they're really cool about it. They're like, we want your feedback. Please, like, just let us know if you like it, if you don't, what we can do to make it better. So let's just say I was relieved when I got to New York and was actually able to swatch the colors. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I posted swatches on Insta stories, and like a couple of them just like melted into my skin. Like, oh, it was a little magical, you know. I don't want to like give too much away because I want you guys to see me apply it, and then we can kind of talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Who would have thought that foundation would make me this happy? You know? All right, let's start the swatches. The first color is Y470. Just use my finger here. Make sure to shake these bottles, you guys. Like, I've noticed there's like a little bit of like separation or something. You just have to shake them. This is Y480. Dang. Can you see it? R490. And then Y500. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty easy. This color kind of just like blends right in with my skin. I could probably even use, what is this, 490 or 500 in the summer when I get my little, when I go to the Caribbean, get my little tan going, but I'm definitely 480. Yes, and it has a yellow undertone, I think, which is why it just like blends right in. You can see these have more of like a red undertone, I believe. Let me look. Yes, red. This is red and this is yellow. It'll tell you on the bottle, it'll say Y500 or R or whatnot, so you know the undertone. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to prime my skin with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This isn't as matte as the stick I've been using. I've noticed like with that Smashbox stick primer, sometimes it gets like little like beads on the face. I don't know. It does something. Like, I feel like that might just be good to use like maybe around the nose or whatnot. And with this foundation, it is super matte, so I feel like I don't need a super matte primer. I even use their illuminizing primer that I got on the trip. This bad boy right here. These are like drops. Oh yeah, the dew drops. I use this and it worked really good. It just gave my skin a little bit of a glow, but it was like a matte glow. It was weird. Weird in like a good way, you know? All right, so because I've been using this foundation for a couple days, I feel like I've kind of got to know it. If you want medium coverage, you need to use a brush. Sheer to medium coverage, I would say use a beauty blender. Boom. This is actually a powder foundation brush, but I like the density of it and I like how it's flat and it just works so good to apply foundation. Boom, look at that. I low-key feel like the Marc Jacobs team, they were a little like nervous because I told them, I was like, listen, I'm gonna give a review of this foundation, whether I like it or not. No, they're cool though. They're really like, review it. We want to know your honest feedback. And honestly, like, I really do like the foundation. It's not full coverage though. So this is like, I feel like the everyday working man or woman type of foundation. This is like somebody who's like going to work. They don't want to look like they have heavy, thick Instagram makeup on, if that makes sense. This is like just like an everyday foundation. I'm like really enjoying it the more that I wear it. Let me say that one more time. It's not full coverage. So yes. So yes, it's not full coverage. All right, so I would say that this is one layer of the foundation. It's buildable. It's not buildable to full coverage, but you can build on it a little bit. But you can see, like, you can still see my skin through the foundation. It's a natural finish. And it dries pretty matte, I've noticed. When I wore this foundation in New York, and it is cold out there, it's a lot drier out there, I was pretty matte all day, and I didn't get shiny. So I feel like if you have normal to dry skin, I feel like it might almost be too matte for you, only because it's not gonna give you that natural sheen throughout the day. It stays pretty matte. So, I mean, at least that's what like my friends have told me who have more dry skin. They're like, it's really like, it's almost too dry. But for my combination skin, it's perfect. I really like it. I almost feel like if I just sat here, you guys could see it just dry down. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna apply Kylie Cosmetics Chai Concealer, which is, you guys know the concealer I usually use. And this is full coverage. This concealer is full coverage. I'm in such a good mood today. I'm going to the movies tonight. Just gonna see Black Panther. Very exciting. I got a ticket this morning, but that's okay. It's totally fine. The only place on my face that I think I'd want a little bit more coverage is around my mouth, because I don't know, I just like am naturally a little discolored around my mouth, like right here. I'd probably put a little bit more coverage, but I can do that with a concealer. That's the only, I guess, complaint I would have about this concealer. Or, geez, can I talk today? That's the only complaint I have about this foundation. So like right here, I just want a little more. Just a little bit. It's crazy because I already know who's gonna like this foundation. Like, I really know this foundation is gonna be for the person who is doing their makeup in their car, which I don't recommend, but I see it every morning, who's doing their makeup in the car, who's using their fingers, who doesn't have a lot of time, or maybe even doing their makeup on the subway, whatever the situation is. But this is going to be for someone who doesn't have a lot of time to do their makeup and who doesn't want like a really heavy look. This is going to give you like a natural finish. See? Still see my skin. All right, I'm going to contour also because foundation matches my skin. So I do want to contour. If it was a little darker, I really wouldn't have to contour, but it's like almost a perfect match. So I'm going to contour a little bit because I like a little drama. And this is Kylie Clove Concealer. Adding a little drama to my head. When we were at the Marc Jacobs dinner one of the nights, we were just really there we had two events to go to. We had the fashion show and then we had a dinner, and they had like a video playing. It was like a promo video for the Shameless foundation, and there were so many different people in the campaign, different skin tones, different ages, just different ethnicities. And I was like, wow, this is like, every foundation launch with every company should be like this. Like, you should be able to see somebody in the campaign that you can relate to, whether it's because you have the same skin tone or whatever the case is. And I really feel like they did a good job just having a really diverse group of people represent the foundation and the foundation launch. Yeah, I mean, I like to contour. I like to contour a lot. All right, I'm going to set the foundation with the Sacha Buttercup powder. This is a powder I usually use. I like it because it keeps me matte. So anytime I do a foundation review, I'm pretty much going to use the same products I always use. I don't like to introduce anything new because I want you guys to see what it would look like just, I guess, with products I use. Like, it doesn't make sense to try like a new powder with a new foundation because it might sit different or set different. Can you guys see the difference? Like, I mean, I do my makeup every day. I can tell that it's just a little bit more, it's just a little bit lighter than what I usually wear. I don't know if you guys can see it. Obviously, adding concealer gives it a little bit more coverage, but like even my forehead, you could still kind of see a little bit of marks. So this is a true medium coverage foundation. I'm gonna finish my eyes. I'm gonna glam up a little bit, and then I'll be right back and we can finish talking about my thoughts on the foundation. Here it is, folks. So this is a finished look. You can see that it is a little bit less coverage than what I'm used to, but honestly, I like the foundation. I feel like they did a really good job nailing the undertones. For once, I'm like, oh, well, not for once. There's a lot of really great foundation brands out there, but it's just like a relief to see a luxury brand get the shades right. And when I was in New York, I could tell that they really had a lot of feedback from their like Marc Jacobs artists. It's just good. I'm liking it. This is gonna be the foundation that I wear when I want a more natural finish. So probably on days when I'm like in a rush and I'm putting foundation on and mascara and that's it, and I want it to look really natural, but I also want some coverage. You can see my face is really matte, and it's gonna stay like this. When I was wearing this in New York, I found myself reaching for my compact mirror to touch up, and I didn't really need to. So if you have combination oily skin, or you just really like a matte, really matte finish, you're gonna like this foundation. If you have dry skin and you want a dewy foundation, this isn't gonna be the one for you. Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. It's medium coverage. My skin hasn't been irritated by it, which is great, so it's good for sensitive skin. And I think those of you who've been trying to find that medium coverage foundation, this might be the one for you. Thank you guys for watching this review. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know your shade. Ooh, that's fun. Why don't we do that? Let me know your shade in the Marc Jacobs foundation. And last but not least, subscribe to my channel. And last but not least, strut and slay. Like, what was that?